Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, October 28th, 2014. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Vincentians yesterday, October 27th, journeyed to Victoria Park in huge numbers to be a part of SVG's 35th Anniversary of Independence Military Parade. The 2014 parade was led by Inspector Richard Brown and was held under the theme, Working Together to Enhance National Pride. Present on the parade ground were a number of local uniformed bodies which formed the number 35 in honor of this year's independence celebration. Also on the parade ground was the Ecuadorian Engineering Brigade, which is currently here carrying out work for the construction of 4 Bailey bridges on the leeward side of the island.
Different things from the
when the goose step, that's what you call a goose step?
It is the goose step, and it's a different form of drill which we are not generally accustomed to.
And the crowd is loving this.
Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gansabs commended the excellence displayed by those on the parade ground.
The parade ground included our friends from overseas, from Ecuador. The commandant on the parade ground this morning has been exemplary, and there is a historical footnote at the very least that this morning the second in command of the parade ground for the first time is a female police officer. Her name is Assistant Superintendent of Police Tekla Andrews of the village of Peruvian Vale. Congratulations.
As Vincentians here and abroad mark the 35th anniversary of SVG's independence, nationals are being told that independence addresses much more than material bread and butter concerns, but also speaks to love for one another. Delivering his independence message at Victoria Park on Monday, Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gansabs says SVG continues to be plagued by what he terms as too much unnecessary, unproductive and dangerous bickering, not only among co-workers, but also among neighbors, churchgoers and persons of opposing political parties. Dr. Gansabs called on Vincentians to re-examine themselves and move forward with a more positive and optimistic attitude. He said it is also important that Vincentians learn to say sorry for errors committed.
Foolish vanities, pride, vengeful spirits, and a lack of unnecessary self-restraint cause too much confusion, bad blood, and even criminal misconduct. Each of us has to re-examine himself and herself and do better. The personal bile and hatred spewed daily by some persons in ordinary conversations, on talk radio and on the internet ought to stop. The malicious untruths, reckless innuendos, and blatant distortions must give way to the quest for truth, fair comment, and measured language. Robust debate with characteristic Caribbean humor and piquant can be conducted in a competitive democracy without a descent into unbecoming language.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister, as usual in his independence address, listed a number of goodies to be had by Vincentians over the coming months. The list includes the duty-free concessions on Christmas barrels, which will commence on November 17th through December 31st. A special Christmas Works program to the tune of $3 million, along with a $500,000 cleanup program for capital Kingstown.
Thousands of Vincentians will receive short-term employment under this program, as we at the same time improve our physical surroundings, and we will spend all this money before Christmas. The ongoing housing rehabilitation programs continues. I am now finalizing an order for a further $6 million for building materials, including a provision for materials with which to commence in January 2015 the Lives to Live housing program of timber construction to cater for persons with physical and other disabilities. We have to take care of them very specially. I assure the hard-working and deserving farmers that the current $6 million soft loan program through the Farmers Support Company will be buttressed by a further $6 million for the year 2015, which I plan to front load so that the farmers can get the money earlier up in the year.
The Prime Minister also told Vincentians to look forward to a detailed presentation in his upcoming budget speech on a $50 million urban development program for the construction and rehabilitation of government buildings in Kingstown starting next year. He also announced that effective January 2015, all part-time government workers, including cleaners and kitchen workers of the government school feeding program, will receive a salary increase.
In the same vein, our government will shortly set in train the review upwards of the statutory minimum wages for various categories of workers. Shortly too, our government will be engaging the public sector trade unions on the issue of improved terms and conditions of work for the public servants, all categories of public servants.
The Prime Minister ended his presentation with the announcement that Cabinet last Wednesday accorded the honor of sporting and cultural ambassadors to 15 Vincentians.
Cecil Blazer Williams, Ken Iles, Marlon Matafix Rudet, Elroy Blondibird Boyd, Julian Pilling Pollard, Errol Sado Sutherland, Randy Luther McIntosh, Orandi Bomani Charles, Chanel McKenzie, and Shonel Scarpian Williams. The newly appointed sporting ambassadors are Dr. Halima Dishang, Dighton Butler, Stanley Luxie Morris, Dennis Byam, and Sabrina Mitchell. These appointments reaffirm our government's conviction that culture, the arts, and sports, as well as other uplifting aspects of life and living, are vital to our nation's well-being and the further ennoblement of our civilization.
An appeal is being made by Governor General Sir Frederick Ballantyne for Vincentians to join forces to find solutions for the benefit of all citizens. Delivering his national televised independence address on Monday, Sir Frederick said the fundamental problem facing Vincentians is the draw to negative forces. He says, as a people, Vincentians are stronger collectively, hence joining forces will be a good option in dealing with the challenges facing the country.
I wish particularly to beg for tolerance in our daily lives. Tolerance, especially to those who have opposing views and who, under economic stress, tend to be easily agitated, become aggressive, and resort to violence. I ask that we make an extra effort to be respectful of each other. If you truly respect yourself, it will be easy to respect others and forgive them of some of their perceived shortcomings.
Sir Frederick further pleaded for more tolerance, especially among those who have opposing views and who under economic stress are edgy and easily resort to violence. He also asked that persons make an extra effort to be more respectful to each other.
In spite of the various challenges we face, as a nation, we can still be proud of our significant achievements, especially in the fields of health, education, and poverty alleviation. We cannot allow any erosions of the gains made over the 35 years in these fields. Above all, we need to work harder, not only to preserve our job, but to improve the productivity of the country. While efforts need to be made to try to create employment for the many, many able-bodied men, women, boys, and girls who are unemployed.
The Governor General said persons need more than ever to be kind and generous, especially to the poor and unemployed. Parliamentary representative for the Mariaqua constituency, Girlyn Miguel, on Independence Day, made an appeal to her constituents to come together for the greater good. Addressing an independence rally in Richland Park yesterday, Miguel, who is also this country's Deputy Prime Minister, says though there are challenges, working together is the only way to achieve success, which was how SVG was able to gain national independence.
In the field of agriculture, I can tell you, at one time, I was the Minister of Agriculture, and I went to the FAO, and I was able to ask for help for persons in agriculture. You know, here in Richland Park, that we have problems with agriculture. You know the diseases that have been plaguing our crops, but yet we are a resilient people, yet we are a strong people. We are a people who will not give up, and this is what independence means. And when we come together like this today, I feel good in my heart to say, yes, my people understand, forward ever, backward never. It is working together for the common good. Yes. And if there is a community where we understand this well, it is the community of Richland Park.
Miguel says being an independent nation comes with the freedom of choosing who the country can create foreign and other partnerships with.
We do not any longer have to ask England what we must do. England used to be our mother country, and whatever we wanted, we had to ask England for us to get it. But when we became an independent nation, we were, and today I am pleased to tell you that what we call our foreign policy, we are able to make friends with many, many people with whom we could not make friends when we were under Britain. Just last week, I want to bring something which is recent to you. Just last week, we gave out a goodly number of scholarships, 414 scholarships to the youths of our country, because Taiwan is our friend.
Meanwhile, Miguel, who is also the Education Minister, called on her constituents to work with the schools and the principals in the area to help create a better environment for the students to develop both mentally and emotionally.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you to continue to work along with the school. The school is very, very important for us. Our young children, we have to nurture them, we have to help them, work along with our principals. I was very proud the other day to know that Delight Oliver, she did so well. And I'm saying to you that Richland Park is rich, rich, rich in many areas. I want you to understand this. Let us hold on together for what is good.
Here is a look at some of the performances that took place at the Mariaqua Independence Rally.
Our homeland, our nation, we wish you a world of happiness. We wish you a world of joy. We wish you a world of pleasure.
You give me no mansion, No, not that one. Yeah, I love you a million. Desire, lovely beach, traffic that breeze, always there within my reach. I love you so Vincent. Baby, baby, fire, they go. All the boys sing and color, and they want some I wish I had a needle as fine as I could sew. I'd sew that girl to my coattails, and down the road I'd go. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday.
One day after this country celebrated its 35th anniversary of independence, it is also celebrating the 35th anniversary of diplomatic relations with the Republic of Korea. The Republic of Korea, also known as South Korea, was one of the first nations to establish diplomatic relations with SVG as an independent state on October 28, 1979. Since then, both countries have enjoyed cordial relations, and cooperation has followed in the areas of education, training, information technology, and health, among other key development areas, in addition to promoting peace, development, and international security at the multilateral level. Specifically, a visa waiver agreement exists between both countries, which means holders of a Vincentian passport can travel to Korea for short stays without any visa requirement, and vice versa. Still to come, van operators in the Sharps area call off strike action. More stories on the local scene when SVG-TV News continues. Don't go away. Welcome back. Van operators in the Sharps area called off their planned strike action today following an appeal from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves in Parliament last Friday. Last week, the van operators threatened to halt their service one day after the national independence celebrations over the bad road conditions which they have had enough of, and called on the authorities to fix the problem soonest. Following a meeting with Minister of State Julian Francis, who gave the assurance that the necessary arrangements will be put in place to fix the roads, the van operators decided to call off the strike. SVG-TV News understands that work commenced on the roads over the weekend and is expected to take 2 to 3 weeks to be completed. Meanwhile, resident of Sharps and political activist Beresford Phillips, though he understands and empathizes with the concerns of the van operators, he is happy that they called off the strike action.
I was always of the belief that the Prime Minister will not allow such an action to take place. He explained the reasons why the roads are like this for this extended period of time. It is due mainly as a result of the December floods, where most of the country's resources were diverted towards the rehabilitation project. I am happy though that he has responded positively and that the road issue is currently being addressed in a positive way. As I said before, the roads are in a bad condition, and one can only sympathize with the van drivers, and not just the van drivers but the other users of the road. I want to thank them for their patience. They have been a tremendous bunch to have endured what they had to endure over the past well, more than a year now. These roads deteriorated, especially since the heavy rains of December and subsequent heavy rains. The road deteriorated significantly, and they are very patient, and I want to thank them for the professionalism, the patience that they have exhibited up to this point.
Stacey Aberdeen, a 24-year-old former employee of the Inland Revenue Department, was this morning ordered to pay compensation in the sum of $7,520 when she appeared at the Serious Offences Court and changed her plea to guilty to 112 separate charges of deception. Aberdeen was also placed on a bond in the sum of $2,500 for 1 year. If she breaches the bond, the sum becomes payable forthwith. In default, a 1-year jail term will be imposed upon her. Aberdeen charges stemmed from acts of deception which occurred at the department between January to December 2010 when the funds went missing. Chief Magistrate Rishon Brown Matthias told Aberdeen that she was placed in a position of trust and such act undermined the integrity of the position she held. Aberdeen was represented by Senior Defense Counsel Arthur Williams. The third phase of buildings of the SVG Community College was officially opened today by the government of SVG. The buildings comprise a lecture theatre, a student union, and a teachers' building. In addition, there are 2 hard courts and an uncovered seating or bleachers. Renovations were also done on the existing building from the first and second phases. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education Girlyn Miguel said the government recognizes that the college is growing in leaps and bounds. She said that in order to facilitate the increasing and changing demands of the society, the college and all of its students must continue to strive for academic excellence.
A physical structure, complete with skilled professionals to improve the programs offered. But let us not forget that it is the spirit of our community that will dictate the efficient and effective use of this facility. This is because the positive attitudes of all stakeholders give rise to the greater realization of potential and subsequent success. We recognize that this project, throughout its implementation, has encountered a fair number of challenges. In spite of this fact, however, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College stands as a testament to perseverance, proper negotiations, and adherence to standards of excellence.
Miguel thanked the European Union who financed the project at a cost in excess of 30 million AC, as well as architect Molten Mayers and other contractors.
Your expertise and input in this project have been invaluable. To the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College administrators, faculty, staff, and the students, I say that I know that during this project you worked assiduously under less than ideal conditions. But now you can enjoy an improved work environment. As we move forward, we hope to continue to build on the partnerships we have formed and embrace the wider community as part of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College as we grow from strength to strength.
The University of the West Indies UWI Open Campus is offering a new master's program in instructional design and technology. This will align with its current diploma program in instructional design and technology. The new program is expected to begin in January 2015. According to the director of the campus's academic programming, Dr. Girlyn, the new master's program was developed on demand from Caribbean teachers, educators, and trainers in light of the new imperatives within the technology-driven educational landscape. The 45-credit master's program with 11 core courses will be delivered fully online. It is specifically designed for persons who are engaged in the design, development, delivery, evaluation, and management of educational and instructional programs delivered or supported by a variety of instructional technologies. The program will be offered over 30 months. However, students will have the option of exiting upon successful completion of the first 6 courses and will be eligible for the award of the postgraduate diploma in instructional design. Kenesha Llewellyn last Saturday night captured the Girls High School Miss Heritage Crown 2014. The event was held under the theme, A Lasting Legacy, Who Did This to We? Llewellyn represented Dr. Kathleen Kitty Israel, one of this country's outstanding female contributors. Kristin John-Deane has more on the results in this report.
Kenesha Llewellyn not only captured the Miss GHS Heritage title, but also 3 of the 4 judged categories, including Best Ambassadorial Speech, Best Talent, and Best Cultural Wear. first runner-up was awarded to Keetrell Miller, representing outstanding female contributor Rennie Batiste. Miller was judged Best Interview.
Our celebration of independence can appear to some as being superficial by the fact that we merely dress in national colors and hang flags of the same. What is your opinion on how we celebrate independence?
As Vincentians, we are very patriotic. A lot of tourists tend to come to our country in independence so that they can be surrounded by our high-spirited nature. I think that as Vincentians, our patriotic spirit is very beneficial to us because we not only market our country when we hang flags and display our creativity by wearing cultural wares and having cultural events, but we can encourage people to come back to St. Vincent even during independence.
Second runner-up went to Kaya Phillips, who represented Diane Hines. Most Improved Student Award went to Nelicia Williams, representing Vera Ann Brayton. The show was also filled with guest performances from Groundbreakers dancers Rodney Small on Pan and 2014 Road Match Soca and Raga Soca Monarch Fireman Hooper.
Raga Soca Monarch! How are we going? How are we happy? Oh, how I wish I had somebody! Oh, how I wish I had somebody! When I say, by the... Oh my God, hey! I want to see me on the friends song. Oh Lordy, we are here on meeting. Oh, how I wish I had somebody to give me. And I bet you love me, I don't know us, they don't know us. Even and my words, they don't know us, they don't know us. And I know that it's taking me home tonight. You're gonna set me alive.
What's your going for the
The other contestants in this year's Miss GHS Heritage Pageant were Regisha Hazel and Adrienne Straker. Kristin John-Deane reporting for SVG-TV News.